Hi everyone, we are here for the first batch and the very first episode of Climate Tech Pitch. The program would not only scale startups around climate issues by a media approach, but also by an offline approach, like a media for equity. And for this very first episode, I'm very pleased and glad to welcome two of great players. Tad Kimura from Adelaide just come from Japan for this very first episode. Very amazing for me. Welcome, Tad, to be there.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
It's a pleasure.
Yeah.
And for my second very great player who is there is Jean-Patrick Corso from Clean, not far from Paris, but in the province of Franche-Comté.
Bourgogne-Franche-Comté, absolutely, yeah.
Great. Thanks for being there, Jean-Patrick.
Thanks for welcoming me.
Just turn with Tad
Yep.
for this first introduction.
Yeah.
Could you explain us what is Adelaide?
Yeah, so Adelaide is an accelerator/incubator based in Tokyo. And recently we are focused on the climate tech. So we are helping Japanese big corporations, and they are looking for technology and startups, especially in the climate tech area. So that's why we've started this program since this year. And we are looking for and find a good, climate tech startup in all over the world, which has a potential to collaborate with Japanese corporations.
And what is the business model? What is the model of acceleration do you propose?
Basically, we are getting a fee or like a participation fee or sometimes a sponsor fee from the big corporations. And we arrange like a pitching session or like programs.
Great.
And basically, so startup can join this in a platform free.
Great. Have you a specific segment or application within climate tech?
Actually, we have two, sections. One is biotech / food tech / agri-tech. This is one sector. And the other sector is energy and recycling and such kind of stuff. The two, sectors.
Within the cohort that you have just launched, what type of technologies, what type of enterprise do you looking for?
We are looking for any startup in these two, categories. And in the seed stage or the Series A stage startups.
And do you help startups scaling their funding rounds, or do you put yourself a ticket?
Actually, we don't invest. But we can connect with Japanese VC or Japanese corporate VC, and we can be a bridge between the startups and the investors.
Great. And your partners on the corporate side, do they provide any expertise or business access?
Yeah, they are like doing business in this sector, like in agriculture or like energy. This is their main business. So they are looking for startups to collaborate with in their main business field.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
I think that probably some of your corporate partners and sponsors could also not only give skills and expertise, but also give funding acceleration. Do they invest directly or indirectly with some cohorts?
Yeah, that's right. Nowadays, more and more Japanese corporations set up the corporate VCs, which means they can invest directly into the startups. But unfortunately, at this moment, they are mainly investing in the domestic startups because of the language and cultural issues. So we try to expand their target outside Japan, since there are good climate tech startups in this area.
I do believe that if you are here, I'm very pleased to welcome you for this very special momentum here in Paris. That the quality of the ecosystem and the demand, the quality, the type of the demand of what could be a good asset to invest is sometimes different, depends on the countries, depends on the geographic zone. Could you explain us what is the type of the demand and the appetite of investors in the Asia and in particular in Japan?
I see. Yeah, basically they are looking for the climate tech in the in another word, deep tech space.
Okay.
So, as you may know, France is famous for AI intelligence and also some deep tech space from the universities, right? I think, yeah, we are looking at the opportunity there.
The digital, the deep tech through AI, algorithm, blockchain.
Yeah, and more deep tech kind of stuff.
Great, great. You mentioned two things just before, the energy and agri-food.
Yeah, yeah.
This is all around sovereignty.
Yeah.
So it's very important.
Yeah.
We do believe
Yeah.
that for Japan is very important as well to have the sovereignty of energy
Yeah.
and agri-food. What could be the call to action you would like to address to overseas startup to help also Japan fill the gap on technologies? What could be the call to action you would like to address them?
Let's say, let's explain with examples. Now we are working with German startups. They are in the food tech field. They are providing some food technologies in the area, and they are looking for the partner in Japan of the beverage company or food companies. So we are helping the German startups to connect with Japanese corporations.
Great. Just to figure out specifically on one question in this area, probably you have heard about the concept of urban farming. Do you believe in this type of concept? And as we know that Japan is a multi-islands, we have to drive the development in vertical. What could be your input on your belief of this type of segment in agri-food dedicated to urban agriculture, urban farming?
Yeah, thanks very much. As you mentioned, Japan has limited land and limited resources. So we need a technology and also energy with green energy, and also the cost of energy is quite important. But if those problems will be solved, then the urban farming has much potential even in Japan. Let's see Singapore. They are focused on the urban farming and already started. So I think it's time to start, or time to explore the opportunity of urban farming.
Is there any also very interesting cross-border within Asian ecosystem? For example, Japan to Singapore, you mentioned China, Southeast Asia. What type of dynamism there is in the ecosystem related to climate tech?
It's just starting, and we are looking at Singapore as one of the potential country of the startups, but actually there are quite a few collaboration beyond the border. So we try to make it happen.
Great. So thanks for this very interesting insight, Tad, and for this first part of the interview. And
thanks.
Just have this, there is a dynamism, a great dynamism from ASEAN, and in particular from Japan and Tokyo. I will turn now with my second players. Now it's not an accelerator, it's a pure player, I will say, in a new, I will say, sector, an amazing sector, which is hydrogen applications.
Exactly.
Jean-Patrick Corso, the CEO and founder of Clean. Just introduce yourself and just going forward about what could be your needs and your track records and so many questions I would like to ask you.
Yeah, there are plenty, I guess. Yeah, so we are a Clean company. We are a deep tech startup. We have purchased some 3 patents, international patents from CNRS in France, quite a well-known technological center. And with my associate, who has been a researcher for all his life, we have decided to create Clean based on this technology to promote a new technology of fuel cell. Why is it new? We get rid of platinum. As you may know, platinum is right now mandatory for all fuel cells that will that is booming in the mobility, for example. And platinum is very expensive. It's more expensive than gold, about 30,000 euro per kilo. It is very rare. We find it 90% in 2 countries, South Africa and Russia.
So there is a pressure on the resource demand?
A very high pressure and a question of sovereignty as well. And it's only 13,000 tons in the world. So it's very low resource compared to other ones like nickel. Nickel is 100 million, so it's about 10,000 more resources. So this is one issue. And the other issue that we tackle is the fact that we lack of infrastructures. So if we want to boost the usages, we need first to have some infrastructures. You will never buy a car, a hydrogen car, if you know that you don't have some station close to your house. Our position is that we would like to bring our products time to market. So we provide also, with our fuel cell, we provide a source of hydrogen. And this source of hydrogen is a solid state source which generates its own hydrogen based on the water that the fuel cell is rejecting.
So
basically we're creating a cycle. We're creating circularity within our fuel cell. And we think that this principle will accelerate the adoption of hydrogen in the world, and especially in mobility that we're seeking for. Yeah.
What would be the alternative if there is no this case? Are you a game changer in this field on the tech side, and now come to the market entry? What are the challenges to go through and to make market adoption?
Yeah, we have several challenges. The first one will be to get from the lab to an industry. So we get from small pieces like this, which are working, but we need to expand them, to optimize them, to expand them, and then to stack. We do what we call some fuel cell stacks to get to more power. This is one thing, more technological side. Then we have to find some partners. And right now, we were born...
Industrial partners or scientific partners?
Not mandatorily, but we are looking for customers right now. So we have 3 horizons. The target horizon is 2030 to be a reference technology within the actors of mobility. So this is why we are targeting some customers like the car makers, like Stellantis, Renault, Toyota, or Hyundai in Korea. This is the main players. Also some fuel cell manufacturers, like the big ones, like Plug Power or Symbio in France or Ballard in Canada.
So do you think that the market adoption is also related to, I will say, the regulation adoption according to make available the access or monitor the access to say we've got a short list of technology and you are already caught in this type of short list. It could help a lot, I do think.
Probably, yes.
It's not a tech part or a marketing part, it's much more a public policy part. And how can
maybe one
a startup could push forward these lines? Because we know it's when you are a startup, we don't have enough resource to make the framework for the global market.
You're right. We also believe that it's not only economical thing. It's so of course regulatory may help, but also customers who know that there are only 13,000 tons in the world of platinum will themselves have to find something. We suffer too much right now of lack of resources. We are too much aware that there will be a problem in 2030. So we also believe that the customers will turn to us because there will be no other choice. And the better thing is to do that right now, because we all know that the development cycles, especially in automotive, in the mobility sector, is quite long. It's quite long. So if we need to talk now to be ready in 2030.
Sure. Yeah. And because we are on the climate tech pitch, according to your funding round, just speak deeper on this.
Yeah.
What do you need and what are you going to ask and what are your expectations to investors?
Yeah, we have, the good thing is that we have started promotion, and we are start to be known, at least in France. And we are helped by BPI, by the investment public bank.
Yeah.
They help us by coaching, but also by money, by financing. So we have this capital with us, and we are looking forward to get to VCs to amounts like between 7 and 8 million in the next 3-4 years. And we're looking for a first round, a first ticket about 1.4 million within the next 3 months.
To do what, and how long you think you could stay with this first ticket?
With this first ticket, our purpose is to get from one fuel cell like this and its source, a second one like this, to a bigger product, an MVP that would be usable for intra-logistics, for example, for forklifts, for example, you know. So about a power between 1 and 10 kilowatts. This is for 2024, so about 2 years.
And this
from then,
0.2 or 3 million?
1.4, yeah.
1.4 is going to be split to in which category? Marketing, R&D?
So we have hardware, of course. We have investments.
Hiring talents?
Of course. We have about 60% hardware investments.
60% hardware. Yeah. Okay.
To make
there need already a market maturity, technology maturity before.
Yeah, because we feel it.
Sure.
We have already a lot of mark of interest in other sectors already from now on. Yeah. So hardware and of course, talents. Talents will be key. So we'll need some human resources behind this. We have started. We have already hired some talents.
Is it easy to find them?
It's not easy.
How
it's
you
not easy
to be part of the team?
I must say that the fact that it's climate tech is something really important among young people.
Yeah.
It's very important to
driver.
do something for their own life. It's important to give sense to your life. And in this way, I was beforehand in the industry, let's say more normal industry standard, and it's easier in the deep tech to find some people because we are really doing something, and from the industry where sometimes it was quite difficult to give this special feeling.
Okay, great. So now we're going to turn to the other part of the interview, and just to give you the floor, Tad, and ask a question or a comment to Jean-Patrick. What question do you want to ask to him?
How do you look at Japanese market or Japanese corporation? Is there any possibility to collaborate with Japanese market or players or the corporations?
Yeah, to me, Japan is really one of the targets. Why? Because of the philosophy of the industry, because of the fact that the pioneers in the hydrogen are there, like Toyota, of course, but also Mitsubishi. I know they are working on that. So it's a target for us. And I've been used to work with Japan already, so I know, I don't know the culture, but I'm a bit familiar with it.
Okay.
And I love to work with Japan.
Okay. Yeah, we can help you to, come to Japan.
That would be fantastic. Fantastic. This would be a real boom for this climate tech.
Yeah. Okay.
And as a reverse, what question would you like to ask to Tad?
Well, you said that it was
it's a platform here. It's a platform of connection and acceleration from VCs, from accelerator and startups. And we play it here and we play it on offline. And
between countries and continents.
Exactly, because climate is global.
Absolutely. So my question is regarding one comment that you made at the start, which was about the fact that the VCs are and CVCs are focused on the domestic market.
Yeah.
Do you think a company like us, a deep tech technology, so really at the start, has a chance to get in contact with these VCs?
Yeah, I think so.
Really?
So top tier company, they have people or talent who has a capability to communication with overseas startup.
Okay.
So our target is second layer, tier 2 company, types of company.
Okay.
They have they want to collaborate with overseas startup, but don't have a network or don't have a capability to communicate. That's why we are there.
You're the link.
Yeah. That's what we are doing.
That's really good.
Yeah.
So thanks for this first part of this second round. And I will ask the last but not least, have you any question to ask me now? If we play pre-due deal and reverse speech, so you can ask each other's question, or if you have any question and I can try to answer, I will do it.
Okay. Can I start?
Yeah, sure.
So for us, what is the next challenge of the climate tech pitch? Actually, this is quite a significant activities. So I'm quite interested, and I want to be a part of the activities. But I just want to know your next challenge, or what do you think?
Yes, I can tell you directly, Tad, that we can have a broad picture, many ideas, but when it comes from the ground, it comes with people. Probably if we can support and have, I will say, a backup or any new inbound to accelerate your startup qualification to come from Japan, it could be putting Paris Agreement in practice and it putting climate tech pitch in practice. And as well, if we can find ways to support you and Jean-Patrick in the acceleration to go through Japan or Asia or any part of it will be deserved on the ground. Climate change is about first changing, I will say, the life of people, and by climate tech, it's changing the life of climate tech themselves.
I see. Great.
Yeah, so you've answered part of my question, which was related to how, with this big event that you organize, and really congratulations for what you're doing, what is a complementary part in terms of funding that you can have? So probably focus and enlarging the communication around this kind of event, maybe?
Sure. And I'm very pleased that you asked me this question, because now I can turn the question to all the audience and the very targeted audience from corporates, institutions, and VCs. Just join us. Join us for the talk, join us for the show, and join us to support the funding, not only of the TV show, but the funding of the players who try to find a way to change the model globally, but start from the ground. So very, very pleased to have you for this very interesting today first episode of Climate Tech Pitch. Thanks, Jean-Patrick.
Thanks to you.
Thanks, Tad.
Thanks.
And pleased to meet you very next for on the ground to make it in practice. See you next.